runway 35 right, localizer.
Heading 325 to intercept 35 right, localizer Delta 1520. And 1000. Delta 1528.
Delta 1528, thanks. Your cleared visual approach to 35 right on the 325 heading to join.
325 to join, cleared the visual 35 right, Delta 1528.
2 with Zulu.
Scott 4684, Denver approach, rudder change, transition plan, ILS approach, runway 35 right.
Skywest 4684.
United 2214, contact approach 133.62.
3362, United 2214.
Skywest 4635, approach 123.85.
70 to cord for Sky 5257.
267, and verify you're descending on the approach.
That's affirmative, Sky 5257.
5257, contact the tower now, 135.3, 35.3.
35.3, have a good one, Sky 5257. Yeah, 2214, 13 for 1000, descending via the flatty. 235, Delta 1528.
5188, Denver approach, expect the hours from a 348. 85, turn right heading 210.
Right 210, 2025.
Southwest 2067, contact the tower on 132.35, that's for the monitored approach.
13235, Southwest 2067.
Freedom for King Stretching, and this is from a 34 right, planning ILS.
Southwest 993 will change transition to 34 right.
Southwest 993, thanks. You can also descend it via the arrival.
Descend via the arrival now, Southwest 993.
Tiger 440, going to maintain 1414,000.
Tiger 440, sending 14,000.
Tiger 44, contact approach on 132.75.
3275, good day, Dagger 44.
Right,
Alright, 34 right, got 618.
that's 4704, descend maintain 10.
10,000, Scott 4704.
5037, climb and maintain flight level 190. Falcon 10 Tango, contact departure 126.1.
3000.
Heading 100, maintain 13,000, Skywest 5867.
Alright, we're going 210 now, Scott 6188.
American 2507, Denver departure, radar contact.
5 field site.
Net 2285, thanks. We'll have a clearance for you here in just a second. That VFR traffic is 2 o'clock and about 2 miles now. They're still southbound at 6,700.
That's 2025.
Net 2285, turn right heading 325 to join the final on your clear visual approach, runway 35 right.
325, the final clear for visual, 35 right, United 2225.
206 Denver approach, roger. Change your transition plan, the ILS approach, runway 35 right. That takes you over top of the airport.
Expect 35 right, Sky 5206.
Southwest 833, reduce speed at 210, can lead you highest approved.
Okay, 210, Southwest 833.
Skywest 5196, maintain present speed until dog, then reduce speed at 210.
Present speed per dog and flow 210, Skywest 5196.
Speed is 210.
Slow 210, Skywest 5867.
0, Skywest 4704.
92, maintain 250 knots until dog, then reduce speed at 210.
At dog, Frontier Flight 792.
Yeah, slow at dog 210, 250 till then.
Scott 4635, descend to maintain 8,000.
8,000, Skywest 4635. Send via the long 34 right, Zulu.
Scott 3468, Denver approach, expect ILS approach, runway 34 right.
Right, Skywest 3468. 215 until dog, then slow 210 for Sierra.
Scott 5196, Denver approach, roger, dog at 210 knots.
Dog at 210, Skywest 296.
Scott 4635, turn riding 260, reduce speed to 190.
We're heading 260, speed 190, Skywest 4635. Phone to 210, Skywest 5867.
10.
We're heading to 170, Frontier Flight 792.
Okay. 1,000.
11,000 now, Frontier Flight 792.
5867, descend and maintain 1,000.
Descend and maintain 11,000, Scout 5867.
At 4704, turn left, heading of 020 and triple localizer.
020, join 34 right, localizer, Scout 4704.
At 5188, reduce speed to 190.
190, Scout 5188.
Westbound 7100, two of them.
Heading 325, and we're looking for the traffic, Scout 4635.
Scout 5196, traffic off to right, 737 level at 10.
Looking, Scout 296, we're climbing due to RA.
5.9er.
Delta C33.
We just got a AOK from the TCAS, so we're here, so we can go back down to 11,000.
Scout 5196, descend to maintain 900,000.
To maintain 900,000, Scout 296, starting to slow to 210.
2214, turn left, heading 150.
Turn left 150, United 2214.
4635, you're just crossing over the last one there. Present heading to join final cleared visual approach, runway 35 right.
Present heading to join final, clear visual approach 35 right, and we saw neither of them.
3,000, Delta C33.
5867, turn left, heading 020, intercept the localizer.
Left 020 to intercept the localizer, Scout 5867.
United 2214, turn left, heading 080, reduce speed to 190.
Left 080, slow to 190, United 2214.
United 1125, towers 135.3, have a good day.
Over to tower 35-3, United 1125. Good day.
Scout 5867, reduce speed to 190. I didn't give you that.
Slow to 190, no worries, Scout 5867.
Your Flight 792, we're direct dog. 250 till dog, 11,000, and heading 170 after Frontier 792.
Frontier 792, Denver approach, roger.
Climb back to the island, 34 right.
Descend via the T-bar 2.
Oh, 993, don't approach Island, turning 34 right.
Southwest 992, 993.
35, connect tower at Franz, 133.3, good day.
33-3 at Franz, Scout 4635.
Clear down to 12 South, Delta C33.
Scout 4704, reduce speed to 170.
Speed 170, Scout 4704.
792 at dog, descend to maintain 8,000, speed 210 as you're able.
Descend maintain 8,000 at dog, 210 is able, Frontier Flight 792. Still on the 170 heading?
Frontier 792, affirmative.
0,000, clear south from the localizer, straight out, turn 34 right foot.
10,000 to establish, clear the ILS 34 right, United 2214.
Southwest 993 at Eldora, straight out, turn 34 right foot.
Southwest 993 at Eldora, cleared ILS 34 right approach.
And Scout 4704, so 160 knots, 160 to 4.
160 to Cord, Scout 4704.
Thanks, I'll slow you further than 3 miles.
Alright, sounds good.
Great.
Your present speed or greater to advise.
Present speed or greater to advise, Chicago 70.
70 to course, Scout 5867.
Baron 74, Romeo, cleared visual approach, runway 26.
For 11,000.
Scout 5196, turn righting 290.
Right turning 290, Scout 5196.
South 833, Denver approach, roger.
Well, good day.
Baron 74, Romeo, contact spaceport tower 120.2.
Franz, contact tower 133.3.
Alright, 170 to Franz and 33-3, Delta 982, see ya.
Scout 5196, turn righting 325.
Right turning 325, Scout 5196.
Expect the visual ILS runway 35 right.
The visual now for 35 right, goes 5322.
Scout 5196, airport 1 o'clock, 16 miles.
Scout 5196.
3.85.
Side Scout 5196.
Scout 5196, present heading, join final, cleared visual approach, runway 35 right.
Clear visual 35 right, present heading until final, Scout 5196.
Denver American 2522, 210 for 9,000 Zulu.
92, turn right 260, reduce speed to 190.
35 right.
Are you still in the cloud there?
Yes, sir. Looks like probably about another 500 feet. We'll be out of it.
18, thanks. Tower is 135.3, have a date.
35-3, and just got to the airport in sight. Scout 188.
8500. Scout 5564, contact approach 123.85.
Airbus should be going behind, and you'll be following other traffic further out.
Southwest 833, you're looking for traffic.
Scout 5196, maintain 170 knots to Franz, connect tower at Franz 133.3.
170 to Franz, contact tower there, Scout 5196.
Southwest 833, you have traffic in sight.
South 833, roger. Frontier 792, airport 2 o'clock, 15 miles.
Airport's in sight, Frontier 792.
Frontier 792, turn right 325 to join final, cleared visual approach, runway 35 right.
325 to join, clear for the visual, 35 right, Frontier Flight 792.
160 to Cord, contact the tower 135.3.
160 to Cord, 35-3, United 2214.
And Scout was 4684, reaching 11,000, reduce speed to 210.
10, Scout was 4684.
4684, contact approach on 123.85.
2385, Scout was 4684.
Speed of 190.
Heading 260, 190 knots, Southwest 833.
Scout 5564, descend to maintain 900,000.
900,000, Scott 5564.
Approach Scout 4684 at 13,000, sending 11,000. We're doing 250 now once we get down to 11. We're slowing to 210 for 35 right.
Scout 4684, Denver approach, roger.
Just due to traffic. I can get you 3-4 right if you want that.
Descend to maintain 8,000.
So down to 8,000, Southwest 833.
1, sending via the Class 3 information Zulu, 35 left.
Southwest 780, Denver approach, change transition, runway 34 right.
Alright, change transition to 34 right, Southwest 780.
Jet cross 7.
Alright, hey Noel. I'll take some screenshots. I had no doubt. Had no doubt. All right, this is current weather. Let me reload. So this is T-minus 2 hours before landfall. Taking note of that. Yeah, so I'm just setting it for 2 hours, and I'm going to reset the weather when we get there just to make sure that everything stays at hurricane levels, because once it passes a certain time, the weather station disintegrates, I guess, and then the weather goes to like wind calm, like no wind at all. So I'll just stop it at a specific time that I have wrote down, and then that way it won't mess anything up. So we got our C130. So let's hop inside here. Close those doors. Battery is up here. Okay, the bus tie is on automatically. Let's do APU. And we'll turn on the APU generator here in a moment. That's on. Got our juice, amps. Battery's charging. And currently the wind here at Keesler Air Force Base, which is where we're at, which is the home of the 53rd Weather Reconnaissance Squadron, winds are 120, which is basically out of the east, southeast. It's between 15 and 20 knots. So it's a little breezy where we're at, but you know, we're 200 miles away from Lake Charles at Keesler Air Force Base. So we're going to fly to Lake Charles. And let's turn on our I need at least 7,000 fuel. I got plenty of fuel. Just go with 15,000. That's fine. All right, where's the, oh, here we are. Let's look for the lights. Nav light, beacon light. There we go, we got some nav lights, beacon. So we're getting ready for engine start. Okay. Fuel pumps are on. Turn on ignition, I guess. Do ignition 1 and 2. Turn on the fuel pump. Chasing the storm, yes sir. That's what we're doing. And we'll get engine 1 and 2 set up for start. Looks like auto feather is on by default there. Prop sync is there, and yaw damper is there. So we'll press this for 5 seconds. Got light off on engine 1. Light off on engine 2. Get those ready. We'll rock and roll. Engine 3. Steve, chasing a Cat 4. Interesting. Yeah, using historic weather. And the only dilemma with the I use FS Global Real Weather for my weather injector, and you know, it's cool that it has historic weather. The only issue is whenever the weather stations go out of commission, because you know naturally the storm's going to knock out the ground ones in most cases. Then the way the FS Global Real Weather, it just kills the weather altogether. Like you lose all wind. So what happens is I know exactly what time the weather station goes out of commission because I was testing the weather station. So I'm gonna load the weather station at the max sustained wind, and then I'll just disconnect the weather, and then that way it will stay at max sustained, and then I'll reset it when I'm ready to land. So yeah, a little bit different today. Let's turn on our gens. And do 1, 2, 3, 4, and inverters on. And we'll turn off the APU. And then I'll go to, let me see here. I'm going to use a trying to figure out which one of these I want to use. All right, let's turn on our avionics. I don't ever fly this plane. It's going to become pretty obvious. All right, avionics. And I'm just going to put in some VORs. Right now, we're actually T-minus 2 hours to landfall, but we're 200 miles away. So right now the weather is winds 120 at 15 to gusting to 20, but like we're at Keesler Air Force Base right now. All right, where's my instrument? Where's my instrument lighting? So we'll do flaps 2, whatever that is. And trims are all 0. Auto feather is on. Prop sync will do that in a little bit. All right, so we're gonna pop that out. And the altimeter right now is standard actually, so we'll do, it's actually on that, so that's fine. Route menu, actually let's do flight plan. We are at BIX Biloxi, and I want to go to Lake Charles. which is where the eye of the hurricane last year went across. That was LCH. LCH. Lake Charles, we are storm 1399. And we're going to depart out of here. The weather is 140 at 15. So what are my Biloxi, one, 2, 0. So I guess we'll use runway 4. Does it have a ATIS? Keesler doesn't have an ATIS? Interesting. Okay. So we'll depart on runway 4. And we'll figure that out later. So runway 4, and we're going to add, I'm going to add in 2 VORs, GPT and LCH. And the easiest way to find out which one is to look up the frequency, which is Lake Charles 113.4. So it's the top one. So we got the flight plan. So we'll execute. That's our route. Real simple. I wish I knew how to up these lights. I remember doing it before. Instrument brightness. Why is it not working? I don't know. All right, let's do GPS for that. That's fine. We're going to do FMS. Put that on fuel. And the lights are the same on both sides. We've got bleed air on. That's pressure dump. That's icing. That's all pretty much the same. Yeah, I don't have a checklist for this plane. I'm just figuring it out as we go here. I've only flown this like twice, I think. All right, I think I'm ready to go. Let's do taxi light. And I'm not flying online or anything. Check our controls. Get it right, left, elevator, rudder. All that's good. Track IR, good. Controls, all that works. All right. Let's take off the brake and we'll push these throttles up. If I remember correctly, it takes a little bit of power to get this thing going. Once it gets going, it really gets going though. Let's run over this little C130, the 172. Take them out. I have to figure out these instrument lights. I don't know why they're not coming on. they only show up at night. All right. So again, once we get there, I'm going to do a little bit of time acceleration since we're not flying online. Once we get up to our cruise, I just want to get to the main storm, so that way I won't bore everybody to death without having any kind of ATC going on. And we'll get her done. All right, I forgot where this runway is. All right, we'll just make a hard left turn here. Takes about 50% power to get this thing rolling. Once it starts going, then you can let off on the power and it will keep rolling. "53rd Weather Reconnaissance Squadron." Here we go. See how the big boys do it. You know, I read that the real hurricane hunters, they started this hurricane hunting stuff by, oops, my camera's not even on. Sorry, guys. Should turn the camera off when the wife gets home from work. But it started with a bet that a pilot, I don't know if it was a military pilot or NASA or whatever, but it was a bet. That's the only thing I know for sure, that I remember at least, that they bet that they would just off a bet they flew into a hurricane, and then ever since then it's become a thing. All right, I think we're good. Got our engines out here. Got that going. Yeah. So we're gonna do pitot heat. No, that's well, that's fine. We'll do pitot heat, windshield. Make sure I'm stopped. Do landing lights, strobes. All that is good. It's pretty cool that it has smoke, just like the real world C130s. I did active duty in Air Force at Petrick Air Force Base, and that's primarily what it was, a Space Command Air Force Base. So they did Space Command operations. So they had nothing but C130s. So this is kind of nostalgic for me. All right, everything looks good. 50% power to get this thing moving. Auto ignition is on. And we got a right crosswind departure. Windsock is pretty much straight out, so we got 20 knot wind. All right, landing lights were trimmed for takeoff. Pitot heat is on. We'll do prop sync in the air, conditioner levers, all that. Auto ignition, already checked everything. Instrument gauges are on the green. Let's go. Keep an eye on this torque, that we don't over torque. Do a little correcting on the airline. It's on a lot of left rudder right now. A lot of left rudder. Whole lot of left rudder. There's our rotate. Positive right. Gear coming up. Yep, gear's coming up. And I'll take flaps out. Gain some speed. Let's not descend. And we're going to make a left turn. See you at Keesler Air Force Base. You put up that flight path map again when you have a minute. No hurry since not online flying. I want to have that. What flight path map? What are you talking about? Oh, you mean like on SkyVector to show you the route that we're taking? I can do that. All right, let's do yaw damper on and prop sync on. And let's bring up this cheater autopilot. So we're going to take this up to say 20,000. Do 2,000 feet per minute. Flight director, heading, vertical speed. So let me set this heading. Set it there. Autopilot should be on, although I didn't hear any. Yeah, it's working. Smoke and all, got that takeoff. That is correct. Okay. All right, flaps are out. Gears up. Prop sync is on. We can turn off our landing lights, taxi lights. It's so weird that the lights don't come on. My battery is holding. Not all of this is functional. It's just pictures. Alright, so we've got torque is falling a little bit, so we'll add in some torque. Got a range of 300 miles, that's cool. All right. Let's turn those off. Leave weather on. And let's do a direct to Lake Charles. So we'll do direct to to Lake Charles, legs. And then I should be able to go to nav. Am I on the right? Yeah, I'm on the right one. So we'll do nav. That should turn me toward Lake Charles. So now we're on our way. And it shows we are 200 miles away. So I'm going to do time acceleration here in a little bit. I don't know any of the performance numbers or anything for this airplane. All right, let me see if I can pull up the stuff you're wanting. CH. Okay. So this is our route. I have the weather off because in real life there's all these storms. This is current weather, but we're not flying in current weather. So I really don't need the segments. So we're taking off from here, Gulfport, Mississippi, and we're gonna fly here to Lake Charles, and then we're gonna head south to do our reconnaissance, and then we'll turn back around and I will update the weather because right now current weather is winds 220 at 7 knots. So 220, we'll just land on, I can probably do 5,000 foot runway with this. I'm guessing so, or maybe 6,000. 220, I don't know, maybe I'll do 15. What's the, yeah, we got an ILS approach at 15. So I'll just switch the weather to real weather when we are ready to land. That way it won't be, I'm not going to try to land in a hurricane. That wouldn't even be fun. I wouldn't be able to land. So we'll just do that. So this is the hurricane that we're going to be testing. 150 mile an hour winds on August 27. So this is the one we're going to. And this is the route. So we'll come down here, we'll go south, back north, and that will be it. Probably go to IAS mode at this point, so let's do 130 or 140. We'll do flight level change. Add in some torque. Thanks for the route and maps. Yeah, no problem. Lower this camera a little bit. Okay. It's definitely cloudy. So normally this would be like, you know, an hour trip or whatever, but we're just doing a straight line. So I'm going to do time acceleration. And we'll get there real fast that way. Let me go through my checklists here. Let me put standard well, we're already on standard actually. So the only thing I really need is the descent checklist. So approach flaps is 164, full flaps will be 145, and we land at 130. All right, we're coming up to our cruising altitude at flight level 200. Do another flyby. There's an error in your route. There's no stop for donuts. Time acceleration. Time machine, yes. So then stopping for donuts on the way home. That's right. So we're going to do time acceleration now. So I think that's... I need to check my other checklist. It's on my Concorde. I think it's Alt something. Alt T. So do Alt T. And let me pop out the thing so we can see we're 181 miles. So I'm going to do Alt T. We'll do 16 times the ground speed. Apparently it doesn't like that much because it's climbing the aircraft, interestingly enough. So I may have, oh, let's see if it holds. Looks like it's slowly going back down. And I'm 16 times the ground speed, so we are covering a lot of distance really fast. So like I said, once I get there, I'm going to reset the weather on 3 different measures. So that way when we do our hurricane diagnostics. So we're going to do, let's see, 1. We're going to do 2 different diagnostics. Now it's wanting to descend a little bit. It's probably going to wobble back and forth just because of the sheer speed we're going across the ground. Can't do this online, that's for sure. It's too far of a flight in this plane at these slow speeds. When we get to about 20 miles, I'll go back to normal time. And then I'll update it to... actually, I don't think I'm going to have to update it. Not yet, at least. Alright, so Alt-T. Now we're back in normal time. Saturn stop would be. What about donuts for viewing an Earth's donut? Just attach a rocket underneath, use it for extra speed. Yeah, that'd be cool if this thing had that. Alright, let me refresh the weather. So it looks like it's 05. Yeah, that's right. Okay. So let me refresh the weather and then I'll update the weather so that way all the clouds look like it's supposed to. So right now it's probably not all that accurate since I just did 16 times speed acceleration. And we're still about 2 hours from landfall, so I'm going to readjust it here in a moment. So we're going to SkyMax Pro, force weather reload. Let's reload all the clouds, make them look realistic. And we currently have a wind speed at Lafayette, Louisiana of strong rain and not much wind, actually. I guess that weather thing, the weather station over that one is broken. So we have to get within a little bit closer to Lake Charles, I guess, to make it work. Okay, now we have Jennings. This wind station is working, so it would be ground wind is 080 at 29, gusting to 43, but we're still about an hour and a half from landfall. And we have, let me see, 60 mile an hour winds at our current altitude, so it's not too bad. All right, so we got 8 miles to go, and then we're going to head south. So we got some rain in the area. Where's the measuring? Oh, that's 80 miles, 40 miles, 20 miles. All right, so now we're coming over Lake Charles. See if I can get this weather to go directly to Lake Charles. And then I'll update it to, well, I'll switch it to hurricane. Still over Jennings. I'm not over Lake Charles yet. Where's the airport? Oh, okay, airport is up here, so I'll keep going straight. Maybe that will change it to Lake Charles, and then once I get to Lake Charles, then we can circle back over Lake Charles, because I have to have the right weather station for this to work. And then I'll update the winds for the landfall. Okay, you probably just heard the thunder in the background. That was kind of cool. Weather update and readjusting time and environment wind speed, getting closer to Lake Charles, ground station, 60 mile an hour at this altitude. I'm adding notes for when I use the screenshots. Yeah. All right, so we're coming up to Lake Charles. And hey, thanks for the follow there, buddy. Much appreciated. Welcome to the party. So the hurricane is about an hour and a half out. So what I'm gonna do is, let me see, I'm still over Lake Charles. So let's bump it up to the actual landfall. Yeah, so that'd be 07. So I'm gonna stop the weather and I have to re-download the weather for the appropriate time. So that's loading. So we'll stay in this area. Thanks, doing the same too? Oh, good. Good, good, good. So it's definitely raining, even an hour and a half before landfall. And I'm updating the weather now, and then I'll show you what the weather looks like. I'm going to get the plane might rock a little bit as I import the weather. I'm importing it right now. It'll probably take about 20 seconds for it to fully import. So you might see the plane rock, like if you look in a corner. The wind probably would get like a sudden wind hit or something, because this is 5 minutes, 10 minutes or so before landfall. Okay, now it's really dark. So yeah, see all the instruments are going kind of crazy. I just shot up, I think. So what I need to do is turn around. So we're going to go to heading mode. We're going to turn around and go right back the other way so I can get over Lake Charles. And I'm going to update the weather, force weather, reload. That way the clouds and everything will look like they should. All right, so that's reloaded. So the plane's turning around. We need to get back over Lake Charles. That way the winds will be accurate, and then I'll stop the weather program in about, we have 12 minutes before I have to end the weather program, otherwise it will get crazy. And we're gonna get lower. I just want to have the weather set first. Once it's set, then we can experiment. I need to get over, right now I'm not even over Lake Charles. That's why the winds are not as bad up here. It's actually where we're at right now, Sulphur. The ground wind speed is 38 to 56 knots across the ground. So we're going to keep turning back to Lake Charles. Updated weather now, darker and more clouds soon, plane turning out over Lake. Yeah, I'm turning back toward Lake Charles. This is the airport. So I actually have to be directly overhead the airport for that weather station to update the weather around my plane. Once I update the weather station, then it will stay that whatever that weather says it should be the entire flight. So the most I can get out of the weather station is Cat 1 hurricane force winds, and that's because the weather station takes a nosedive after the hurricane took it out of commission. So we're not going to actually get Category 4 wind speeds, but it is, can't see anything. It's so cloudy. See the turbulent air. So we'll come over Lake Charles. I'll reload it for, yeah, let me reload it one more time for the most wind possible. And then, so we're only like a couple miles away from the airport, so that will update, and then we're going to head due south and we're going to experiment with the weather, because the weather should stay the same around my airplane the entire time once I update it. 38 knots ground, have to right over to weather station. Cat 1 force winds are the most possible because weather station gets taken out. Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what happens. Okay, so yeah, Alt T. Let me get back over the airport real quick. All right, we're back over the airport. Let me start to transfer. This will take about 20 seconds or 10 seconds maybe. Then we'll update the weather, and then I'll disconnect the weather, and then that way it should maintain everything. This looks like the hurricane. It's updating now for another 5 seconds. There we go. Just updated. So now what I want to do is I want to stop the weather, and then we'll reload. And now everything should show proper, and we can look at the like all the weather should be set. Yeah, 62 knots. The ground. So maybe it should be set. Maybe that's just close. Let's resume flight. Alright, so let's head into that. And we'll go down to 10,000 feet. Start our descent. And let's head south, actually. Let's head due south from Lake Charles at 10,000 feet. And then I'll reset the weather if I have to, just to test it when we come back over Lake Charles, but I'm pretty sure this will do something. Updated weather now. And update, yeah, so this is, like, I'll come back into this rain area. All right, so now we're heading due south, heading 195, and the winds are 86 knots at this current altitude, but we're gonna get lower. I'm curious, so we're gonna head south and then we'll head back toward Lake Charles, and we'll see what these winds do as I get lower, and I'll reset the weather again. When we cross over Lake Charles, we'll see what happens. Because I can set it for basically 07 Zulu, 0700 Zulu. That's 74 knots over Lake Charles. And then at 0712, it goes up to 78 knots over Lake Charles. So we'll just reset it for 07. And we'll come back in. Matter of fact, I'll get that going now. Let me reset it for 07. And that way it will give me a good 10-minute of actual weather. Accidentally closed screen back now. Okay, no biggie deal. No big deal. All right, now we got 91 knot winds. We are in 91 knot winds. Doesn't really show in the airplane though, like turbulent wise. I guess it's because it's sustained, I don't know. Lake Charles VOR, it's 113.4. It's calm. One 13.4. Switch this to nav 1. And we're 14 miles away from that VOR, so that'll work. Getting down to 10,000, wind speeds 96 out of the east basically. So we'll turn into the wind here. Yeah, that's Lake Charles. That's interesting. We're 17 miles away, so we're going to turn back. And we'll come back into the storm. Should be some rain up there by the airport. And I'll go ahead and restart the weather now, since we're heading back. And then we'll update the weather one last time, and then it should hold for the next 10 minutes. 91 knot wind. Yes, that's what this means. So this is the direction that the wind is coming from. A course heading a 061, so it's basically out of the east at 93 knots. So knots is slower than miles per hour. So 92 knots is like, let me see, 92 knots. 92 knots is 105 miles an hour winds. So this is 105 mile an hour. All right, the weather is updated. So force weather reload again. All the rain is still the same. We'll go right over the airport and then we'll go into the actual rain. So I'm thinking the eye is probably in right over the VOR. So we're at 9,000 feet. $105 mile an hour, 96 winds. Yep. Wind dropped a little bit. Having to fly practically sideways because the wind is pushing me over. So we'll fly into this cell. How am I doing on fuel? Got half an hour left of fuel. 160 miles. I got plenty of fuel. Yeah, the wind is blowing us left. So I'm having to... See, this is the heading. So I'm set to go this way, but it's really hard because the winds are blowing me at like 100 mile an hour to the left. So right now the ground winds are 74 knots. And again, the ground wind where we're currently over, 74 is 85 mile an hour winds across the ground, and we'll get lower. Let me see what the ground elevation is in Lake Charles. Surveyed elevation 14 MSL. Let me go to World VFR and make sure there's no major mountains or hills around here. I don't think there is. Any towers? Looks like the highest stuff is like 200 feet, 300 feet. Yeah, we're flying over Lake Charles now. So let's take this down to 2,000. Go down to 2,000 feet. And we'll go into this little rainstorm up here. The flyby like usually goes the other way, but because the winds are so strong, here comes the rain, is hitting the plane. Now it's 74 knots down here. Yeah, the winds, this is hurricane force winds right now. Can't see anything. I can hear the rain on the hitting the airplane though. You probably can't hear that. The rain just quit, so we'll fly into that. Fly into that there. And the altimeter is 2965. 29. Whoops. 2965. We're going to need that so we don't crash into the ground. 2965. All right. So we'll come into this rain band, and then we'll come back around, and that should do it. The winds are still 74 knots, and I'll really show you what it does. Like we'll line up to land. Oh, did you see that lightning? We'll line up to land, but we're not going to land in this mess. But trying to line up to land, you'll see it will like blow me off the runway because the winds are 120 at 80 knots, and the runway is 120. That's Biloxi. Wait a minute. 12. So we do have to do 15. Yeah, we'll try to do a 15 approach. So we'll pop that out, and I'll do Lake Charles, ILS from Lake Charles, execute. So we'll come back around, and let me get that ILS set. We can hear the rain hitting the plane now. I don't know if you can hear the rain or not. So the flyby was reversed due to the being pushed left. Not sure how to phrase that. It just, yeah, basically. Usually it would stay on the one side. Now you can see how the plane is just shaking everywhere. But without seeing the ground, you know, it's hard to really tell the difference. Very turbulent air right now. Having to reset the weather again. It's going to go past the 712 mark, which would end everything. So I'm resetting it right now. And then we'll get lined up on this ILS to show you what it would be like. So the ILS is 109.1. And I don't know, how do I do a course on this? That's heading. So it'd be 152. Guess that's nav 109, 10. So we'll shoot this approach and see what that does. Turn back around. Reload the weather. And we'll see what this approach looks like. It looks like Lake Charles, we would do a procedure turn. LCH. ILS 15. So we'll just intercept up here. That'd be the easiest way to do it. You can hear the rain? Oh, cool. like the fly-by-ones and did see the turbine a little bit, if not lightning or hear the rain, but I'm glad you all do. Yeah, you might be able to listen to the replay and see if you can pick it up then. All right, let's turn on some landing lights and such. The wind speed here is not very much. Oh, that's because I'm at a different airport. That will change. I need to go over the airport in order for the winds to show properly. That's the only problem with this, is if you're not in the right area, it uses whatever weather is the weather station you're over. So I need to fly over Lake Charles, grab the weather from Lake Charles, and then shoot this approach. So let me do that real quick, because right now it's only blowing 10 knots. All right, that's the Lake Charles VOR. I think. Yeah, that's... So let me get up there to this airport, and then it should update. Yeah, it's on the wrong thing. The ILS is a localizer is alive. So it should update once I get a little bit closer to the appropriate winds. Might be your speakers not being able to play that frequency. That could be. And she does have a problem with hearing. So as I get closer to Lake Charles, actually, I don't need to reset anything. The wind should pick up as I get over this airport. So Fidja is 1,500 feet. So we'll take this down to 1,500. And the wind is still not right. It will though, as soon as I get over this airport, because I'm just going to fly over the airport. I'm not actually going to fly this approach. It's like we have plenty of rain, but the wind is not there unless we get over the airport. All right, now the wind kicked back up. So we're looking at 58 knots here. Now, I can't see anything. See the airplanes flying sideways. The winds are strong over this weather station, that's for sure. Laptop just went to sleep. It's not waking back up. All right, now we're over the actual airport. 78 knot winds. So 72 knot. .74 knot winds right where we're at. Definitely flying sideways. All right, autopilot's off. Let's see if I can fly around here. Do a left downwind. See if I canceled the weather, so that way the weather should remain the same the entire time. Should stay with this 78 knot wind the entire time for right now, since I exited out. So whenever you exit out of the weather, it will hold whatever that last weather station was reading. That's why I exited out right then and there, because it's 77 knots. See if I can shoot this approach now. Another flyby, please. Okay. And one more. Man, the wind is whipping this thing. All right, let me get my landing speeds. I'm just gonna do like 1 notch of flaps though. The elevation's 15, so we'll be all right there. We're on the left downwind right now for 1.5, and you'll see the wind is getting a little bit slower, but it will pick up when we get over the actual airport. All right, so we'll turn in, and I'm gonna have to get pretty low, I think. .164 is flaps 1. Don't crash us. I'm at flight idle right now. 52 knot winds. The winds will probably like pick way up once I cross over the threshold up here. Blew the localizer. That's all right. We're still under the glide slope. It's 180 knots. It's 180, so we're going to do flaps 10. like way off course. This wind is blasting me to the right. I don't even think I'm going to be able to see the runway, honestly. That's just my gear alarm. I don't see the runway at all. I'm also really high. Yeah, this is especially difficult. Because the winds are 60 knots right here. 60 knots. I like overshot the localizer again. Oh, I think that's it. I think I see the actual runway. Yeah, I think that's the runway underneath me. Yeah, that's the airport right there. I'm like flying sideways. The wind's 65 knots to my left. I cannot land. I'm doing 130 knots, but I'm barely moving. Oh my god. $66 knots. Alright, well there's our test. Let me take the flaps out. Climb up to 3,000 feet. Do 100. Autopilot is on. We're on heading mode. Let's turn back around here. Why am I... Flaps are up. Continue for the downwind, and I'm going to reset weather for real weather here in a moment. Just enter a hover, face into the wind, and slow enough to hover onto the runway. Yeah, I would have to like... I don't think there's a runway that would actually be able to handle that. I would fly off the runway. So I'm just going to redo the weather so I can actually see. And we'll land. Either way, it was fun. Alright, so we're gonna do, let me see, turn on the white, I don't need the wiper. All those lights are on. Did I do that? Huh. Alright. So I'm going to restore current weather. And then we'll land with real weather. And the real weather is... winds are 220 at 9. 220. So it's going to be a right crosswind, but it won't be anything I can't handle, I don't think. I've been sitting here for my normal, pretty much normal amount of stream time anyway. Time for a break. Let me take off some of this power. Plus, we might run out of gas. Yeah, we still have some fuel. All right, reloading current weather. Let's take this down to 2,000. Jeez. So that was the weather updating. Let's force the weather reload. There we go. Now we are with the weather from today. And we're going to land. In an actual hilly, you continue in one direction but aim another. Oh, okay. Who says you cannot in that wind with enough wind? Yeah, you probably could, actually. Yeah, if the current weather was worse, that would be bad. Alright, let's see if this weather works for us now. So we're going to turn around. It's so weird flying without ortho. I don't fly in this area typically. It's not my pilot edge area of expertise. Alright, let's go flaps 10. And we'll activate a localizer, which I'm probably going to overshoot. So 160 is flaps 1. Alright, looks like we're established. And 145 we can go flaps full, and then we'll touch down at 130. So we'll keep about 150 knots on the approach speed here. We'll turn off the yaw damper and prop sync. See if we can land up here at Lake Charles. Should have no problem. It's a 6,500 foot of runway available, so that should be no issues. Let's hit approach. Alright, and we'll go ahead and lower our gear. We got 3 green. And we'll slow down to 130 across the numbers. Here's us, 2 flybys coming up. The landing gear and such. Yeah, it probably only does need around 3,000 foot of runway. This thing was made for short runway takeoffs and landings for, you know, military operations. So yeah, I mean, I don't know exactly what the numbers are, but I know I'd feel comfortable with anything at least 4,000 feet, I think, with this plane. Because you can come in at a crawl. They use it as a power horse. Yeah, they sure do. And I like how the developer added in the smoke, the black smoke, because these things do in real life. They smoke a ton. The engines that is. All right, 145. We're gonna go flaps full. And for whatever reason, it let go of the glide slope there. I guess the flaps full didn't like that. I'm flaps full. Coming in at 113. This plane is so awkward to fly. It just feels different than anything else I fly. It's definitely a right crosswind. I have like practically no fuel on board. Is probably why this thing's floating like crazy. Oh God, worst landing in my life. All right, worst landing. What did that landing show? 800, 821. 621, I think. I don't know. I don't care. I'm not gonna lose any sleep over it. All right, flaps are out. This thing is sensitive. Like, it loses speed so fast when you come off the power. Alright. Landing lights, strobes are off. Pitot heat, prop heat, windshield heat off. Better than some of your landings. That was horrible landing. Horrible. And I was worried about doing it during the hurricane. I probably would have had a softer landing. 60 mile an hour, 80 mile an hour winds. Plus, I'm just not used to this plane at all. Handles like a brick. I bet it'd be good for an FS economy airplane. I should have used that. All right, let's get the APU started. And we can turn. I guess you can't turn that off after you turn it on for some reason. Bleed air is on. Turn that gen on. And then should be able to engine 4 stopping. Engine 3. 1 or 2. Engine 1. There you have it. Turn those gens off, turn those inverters off, turn off our avionics, and now we can shut off the APU and the battery. I turned off the battery, so I don't know why those lights are still flashing. Yeah, the battery is off, so maybe because the APU is still spooling down, I don't know. Looks like they're off now. There you go. Thanks for doing the flight. Oh, no problem, Noel. I know you were looking forward to it. That was the best I could do. You can see how we're flying sideways and stuff, so you know, without actually feeling the turbulence, it's not as exciting as, you know, being on the real deal, but I think the next time I try this will be with the Microsoft Flight Simulator, just because they have pretty cool looking weather scenarios. So next year, after the next hurricane season, we'll see if we can grab ourselves a C130 for Microsoft Flight Simulator, and we'll try it with that. And maybe we'll do some fire suppression or something with this airplane next time. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, that was a good time. It was interesting. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Always a pleasure, Mr. Das, as usual. I'm going to go take a break. The wife's going to be walking in the door within the next 10 minutes, and my dog will be going crazy. So I'm going to get on out of here. See y'all later. Chase out.
Contact approach 133.62.
13362, jet car 70.
700 east feet to 160 to course.
160 knots to course, Skywest 5867. And approach jet car 70, 12-9, Cine View.
325 intercept the 35 right localizer, Southwest 833.
Right turn 310, then a 11000, jet car 70. 170, 10,000.
Damage jet 905, dim approach, turn right, heading 200.
200, Gamma Jet 905, and you're setting us up for runway 35 right, is that correct?
Damage jet 905, affirmative.
70, thank you. Yeah, jet car 70, confirm runway assignment for us.
Jet car 70 will be vector Dallas, runway 348, just going to maintain 1000.
34 right, 1000, jet car 70.
Got 5867, start reducing the final flow speed, contact the tower now on 135.3.
Alright, we'll slow to final in 353, Skywest 5867, good day.
West 5468, contact approach 133.62.
362, Scout 6468.
320, intercept on localizer.
320 to intercept, jet car 70.